Happy 5th episode.
Five episodes in, y'all.
5 episodes. Happy 5.
Happy 5. If you're 5 today, congratulations.
Happy 5th of July.
Yeah, 5 episodes in. I think the craziest thing is that this is probably the longest we've ever done a creative endeavor.
Yeah. And together.
Great job.
Great job, us. High five.
We're kind of known for...
Point.
Oh, not the little fart.
Oh, what
sound.
fart? You
There's a little
farted?
Hand fart.
No, it wasn't.
Little
It was fine.
I was just going to... Yeah, we're just, creatives, and sometimes creatives have ideas and then they don't follow through. That's why there's balloons.
We have to celebrate it. We have to
Also-
celebrate our efforts because on our first episode, I think before we even launched our first episode, I said even if all we got to do was witness the branding,
When?
I thought it was already a win.
I think too, we said that we'd do this for a year, and the fact that we were already a year means 12
Almost
episodes,
half, yeah.
one a month. So
Yes.
we're not halfway,
Explaining a
almost
calendar to
halfway,
me,
right?
yes. No, we're almost halfway, yes.
which means 6
Yes,
episodes is
the next
halfway.
one will
So
be.
next, halfway. So we'll
And
celebrate that then.
we do have a fun plan for that. So,
So
that'll
stay
be super
tuned.
cute.
Also, you might hear some growling. Ozzy is scared of the balloons.
yes, she was growling at TJ as TJ was blowing up the balloons. She's kind of tired,
Tired herself
tired,
out.
scared here. She's a bit tense, but she'll be okay.
I think we'll be fine.
And I would also like to apologize for my congestion because I am a little bit sick
Mhm.
today. So that's all. We'll
But that's
mention
okay.
and we're moving on.
It's okay that you're sick.
Well, actually, about it being 5 episodes, I think it is worth celebrating because when I've tried to do stuff like on YouTube and content creator vibes, I'm like, I don't think I ever got past the first or the second episode. I had all these big dreams, but I think what we've learned is that if we just make it semi-achievable for the both of us,
Commitment
we're
is
like,
hard.
let's just do once a month, and then let's try for a year.
I think commitment and being a perfectionist, those two shouldn't
I
mix.
don't want to call myself a perfectionist. Would you call me a perfectionist?
I would say that you have a standard of thing that you would highly prefer.
Yeah, great. Let's put it that way.
As
have
in
a sta-
it's like
And my preference is perfection.
my preference is only the best.
I prefer perfection. Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is probably
But
gonna
we
be
did
really
it.
lax
High five
episode.
again. Boop. Great. Now,
Great job. Now
what do we
celebrate
discuss?
us. Wish us happy birthday in the comments.
Yes, please. Send us confetti
We need
emoji.
gratification.
Boop, 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 boop. Okay, what do we talk about in this first episode?
Episode of 5. I don't know. What?
Do you want to say stuff, or should I say my biggest thing?
I feel like we should just go into the biggest thing because I know what the biggest thing is, but you've only given me the very surface things, so
Okay, are you
you should
prepared?
just go. I mean, never.
Are you ready for it? Do, do, do.
Literally the best concert I've ever been to.
That was really cool. I saw nothing.
Well,
I
yeah,
do
'cause you're
not
too
have any
short.
memories of what I actually saw. Most of my memories of it is sorry.
Context.
Mitchell and I are going to the Eras tour. Woohoo! Taylor Swift Eras tour. We're going to Melbourne in February next year.
Amazing.
Cheer for me.
That's wild that it's next year. I really thought it was like
I want to put this
in a
somewhere.
couple months.
Yeah. So we managed to get tickets. I have talked to a few people who were aware of how wild it was, but not fans,
Yeah,
but
right,
still
right,
could
right.
appreciate the fact that we managed to get tickets. So I'll tell you the timeline if you are interested. But were you saying something about?
No.
Okay, next
thing.
thing.
No, yes, I am interested, especially because my experience was, do you want to come? Me
Yes.
saying, don't think I have the money for that. And then being very happy that I said no, because when I found out the price, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely didn't have that.
But that was almost like slightly a panic buy because like one thing that the girlies were saying on TikTok was the best seat in the house is in the stadium because everyone knew it was going to be so hard to get tickets in the first place. So any ticket was going to be fine.
Any ticket is a good ticket.
Like, fortunately / unfortunately, by the time we got in, the only tickets available were floor tickets, which I was nervous about, which when we go, if we still have this podcast, I will report back on how the experience is. I'm still like every now and then when I remember.
Otherwise, there'll be a vlog. So
otherwise, there will be a vlog. Yeah, every time I remember like that we got floor tickets, it was okay. We got VIP tickets. It's like the second highest VIP because it was the only thing available. My preference was not even VIP. I just wanted seats in what was C reserve. This was my preference. Looking down the stage high enough where I can see the graphics on the stage, and also have a good view of the people because I knew that the spectacle of everything was going to be really cool. So I was like, I wasn't really aspiring for this, but for me, the only thing better than that vantage point is if I'm literally like 2 rows in the first 2 rows in the diamond, which is like the center point of her stage,
right
and where Taylor, like where I can basically breathe her air. And I'm like, so nothing else matters.
Everything or one thing.
Or just her, you know. Because you and I went to Reputation Tour, which you said was the best tour ever. It
was also my first concert.
Right. Also mine.
Which is probably a bad thing because now my expectations for what a concert should be are very high.
Yeah, and people were standing on their seats, right? And I didn't want to do that because people behind us were annoyed at the people standing on their seats.
Well, yeah, because there's like a couple kids in front of us.
There were some kids.
And then
and I'm like, I'm the same height.
Like, get down.
Yeah. And I was quite conscious of that. So like I think I could only see the top part of her what is it called, of her screens, like because the Reputation one was tall. So I'm like, I think that was all I could see. I don't even think she had screens. She didn't have like projected screens.
Well, she didn't. No, she didn't.
She
have
projected
like
onto the stage.
On the stage, yeah.
Or like those were LEDs or whatever.
Yeah.
And anyway, so the tickets we got are B reserve, which means we're on the floor. We're like the second. It's like there's one lot of seats that's like right up at the stage, and then we're like the next lot of seats behind that. And people have been saying, anything past the 5th row on the floor is not really that nice because everyone's got their phones out.
Yeah.
Whatever. And this girl even was like, hey, I bought these shoes. They're like 6 inches platforms. And she's like, I'm 5'4". I became 5'11". I was like, basically, eye level with the stage, and it was great for her. I'm not 5'4".
How big do your platforms have to be?
Basically
you
a
need
foot.
Those little bucket things.
Yeah.
You know, the little bucket shoes. You know, like when you're a kid and it's got like the little platform and then you hold the strings and then you walk on them.
Yeah. Like I know. Mitch was like, okay, we need
little Apple box.
Yeah, he's like, we need like a portable box, whatever. So I'm trying not to think about it, and
oh my gosh, surely they would let you take an apple crate or something.
No, they won't.
Why not?
Because what? They won't even. Okay, they won't let you take.
All I want to be is the same height as other people. I don't even want to stand like.
It's like, why did you buy these seats? So anyway.
Because they were the only ones.
So while we got VIP tickets, I'm a little bit nervous about it because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see. Because someone said, like anything beyond 5 rows, you can barely see, and you probably can barely see the screens as well. Yeah, and I know for a fact that there are screens across, like around the arena, because like when you're all the way up and you're facing your side onto the stage, they have a screen so you can still see her there. But I don't think you can really see on the floor. So anyway, my hope is that because the plan is we're gonna go to Melbourne for a week. Nice. And literally, how do I explain this? The first like 5 or 6 days is before the concert, and our show is on the Sunday.
Okay.
So what I'm hoping is either when we're in Melbourne or apparently there's an upcoming resale. I would like us to try and get seats even in the nosebleeds
Right.
so that I can also experience the concert in a different
Oh, so
vantage
you want to
point.
go to the second?
A different show, yeah.
Right.
And then yeah. Because we're
Nice.
already there, and I'm
And it'll
like,
obviously
let's
be
try.
cheaper, so you're not paying.
I'm
high
hoping it's
cost
cheaper.
For well, yeah, nosebleeds would be cheaper.
Well, in the resale, I don't know, but
Oh, true.
well, no. So actually, in the there's going to be a fan to fan resale or something, and there's a they cap how much you can put on. So I think you can't sell it more than 10%
Right, higher.
higher. So yeah, so
Crazy.
we're gonna be in Melbourne for a week, going to the Eras tour. Oh my gosh, that's just how excited, like the thing I'm anxious about. But let me tell you what I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the Eras tour.
Okay, done.
And making friendship bracelets.
Cute.
So do you know anything about this?
I have seen.
You've seen more about
Well,
it
I've
now.
specifically seen people giving them to
Security people.
to people in the box. Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah,
getting
yeah.
some from a
Yeah,
fan,
yeah.
and I saw a couple of things
So
like that.
I don't think it was on purpose, but I'm not actually like insanely like I will die for her, die hard Taylor Swift fan, but like I've been following her for many years. But there's a song that mentions friendship bracelets, like one line mentioning friendship bracelets, and everyone's like, "Oh, friendship bracelets, so cute!" And then people started like trading them at the shows. It's basically rave culture and Taylor Swift fandom overlapping, and so people make hundreds of friendship bracelets. They bring them to the shows and they trade them. And now there's like all these sorts of all these tips. Like someone said, I put all the ones I want to wear on one hand and everything else that I want to trade on the other hand, so I know I only trade from here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's now all these hacks. It's like put them in a key ring so that it's easy rather than you're like trying to pull and people will select. And so all these friendship bracelets have like letters and little like inside jokes and Easter eggs from all of Taylor Swift's stuff. So I'm excited about that. Do you want to talk? Do you want me to talk about how I got the tickets?
Yeah.
'Cause it was wild.
Tell us the story.
Okay. It's okay. I'm telling the story quite long and so stupid because brain fog. But we couldn't be part of the Amex pre-sale because we didn't have an Amex card. Mitch
So
applied,
silly.
but it was too late,
Yeah.
and now we have an American Express card. It arrived a few days ago. So we didn't
Happy.
partake of that. And then Wednesday was the Melbourne pre-sale. We're going to go to Melbourne because we have friends there.
Then you don't have to pay for hotel stuff.
Well, he did offer that we could stay with him, so that's great. Hopefully he buys a house so we can stay with him.
Okay.
And our flights are already purchased, by the way. So Melbourne pre-sale, tried to be part of it, could not even get in. Okay. And our friend, who is a diehard Swiftie, I was like, okay, let's just check in on her. And she was able to get one, and it was great. And yeah, I followed all the like tips from TikTok being like, don't refresh your thing, only do one window per device so that you don't overload it. There's a queue, and if you refresh it, you get pushed back onto the other, behind the queue and all this. So whatever. Never made it in. And so that was during the day. And then probably around like 4 a.m. like that night, I get woken up by the light of the phone, and I just hear Mitchell go, "Do you want one? Do you want one?" And I'm like, open my eyes, and he's got the phone, and he's on the ticket page. So because I'd already seen on TikTok that there's like a timer, and you have to go really, really fast. So when Mitchell had it open, I was like, oh my gosh, just pick one, because he was like, oh, what seat should we go? I'm like, don't pick a seat, just buy it. And then anytime we tried to, we couldn't get in. So we would select the tickets, and it would say we don't have that number of tickets for that seat or whatever that you
like
wanted.
one seat on that row.
Yeah, and I was like too scared to change anything. Sorry, excuse me. Couldn't change anything. So we got kicked out. We ran out of time, and we were able to do that maybe like 5 more times. So we got stuck behind
That's
the waiting room. We got in 5 more times, but each time we couldn't buy the tickets. And by the time we woke up in the morning, it was like, oh, this general seating's already sold out or whatever. And then so the day after the pre-sale, they also announced that she added another show.
Okay.
So then general sale was going to happen the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, okay, we're going to do it. So Friday came. Now, but between Wednesday and Friday, everyone's like, it's not a queue, it's actually a lottery. So do everything you can to just like increase your chances. So then this dude's like, I had like 12 computers going, and each computer had like 5 different windows and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'd never done this before, but I'm like, challenge accepted. So like Mitch stayed at home and used his like, oh, not at home. Mitch was at work and he had like his computer going and like multiple windows, and I had like my laptop, my iPad, like all the devices were going.
Options.
Yeah, and so had everything going, and I think we were there for, I think we were like an hour and a half in. I got in for the first time, and it's just sucky.
Because you've just been sitting in the waiting room.
Because I just been sitting in the waiting room. The lounge is what they called it. So just sitting in the lounge, everything's waiting. And this time I'm like refreshing some windows. And I'm like, okay, one, I'm never going to refresh. And then the other ones, I'm going to refresh, whatever. Managed to get in 5 or 6 times. Either timeout. The first 2 times, I couldn't log in, which is stupid because I already signed up. Turns out, I signed up for New Zealand instead of Australia, which is so annoying, and I didn't realize. So couldn't let me log in, or I timed out before I could get tickets, or the credit card wasn't working. Like I was about to pay, and the credit card wasn't working. It was like all this annoying stuff. So we were doing that, and what was extra sore is the first 3 tickets that I was able to pick, they were like my dream ones. Like literally right in the middle. So good. And those ones obviously timed out. And I said to Mitchell, let's just go home and try and continue at home because he's like still at work. So then come home. And I'm
literally, at this point, I called Jay. I'm like, oh, I should just ask Jay this question. And then she hangs up on me immediately. And I just get a telegram saying, Can't talk, right? Oh, can't. Oh, no, I think you said no talk. And then and then I was like, okay. And then maybe like a minute later, it was like Taylor Swift tickets. And I was like, yeah.
I need to focus.
I get it. Understand. I will call you in a week's time.
Yeah. And then we got home and we're like, okay, let's just have it going. We're already resigned that we're not going to be able to go.
Right.
And turned on my computer and all of my windows were still open. So like flicked it open, and just as I'm like about to leave it, one goes through, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, Mitch, it's through. And I'm like, going quickly. And then I'm like, okay, the initial ticket's not working. And also we're on Twitter trying to keep up with like the news because Ticket Tech is updating.
Right.
Like Sydney is sold out. I'm like, oh my God, it's selling out. So yeah, so then the tickets that did allow us to go through, or the only tickets we could get, were VIP tickets.
Right.
No longer like the lower bowl or on the bowl. And we just had to do it.
Yeah.
So we ended up with the second VIP tickets, kind of pricey, probably poopy seats. So then I'm hoping that when we go to Melbourne, we can buy floor ones. Or no, not floor ones. Cheaper tickets, but like what to me is better vantage point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're short and you can look down.
Yes. That's what I need. Amen.
Also, that means that like you could stand on your chair. If there was like maybe there is someone taller in front of you, it would be okay to stand on your chair.
Yeah. Everyone's already, So that's what I'm hoping. Either, because I know that in America, they reckon that they release tickets on the same day, like a few hours before the show.
Right.
Because they have like some reserved ones, and then a lot of times they'll just release it. Like I have seen people's videos running into the auditorium because like it's like 5 minutes before the first actual thing opens and they got tickets. Right. But they're already dressed up. And also if you didn't know, have you heard of the Carpark Concert? Parking lot concerts?
Oh, people that couldn't get any tickets just stand in the parking lot?
They just stand in the parking lot and sing, and there's like hundreds of them.
security like kick them out?
No, security's out there because they know that now a
that's
lot
so
of venues.
cute.
So these people are coming even with friendship bracelets, right? They're handing because the people inside are giving friendship bracelets, and they're even like, if you're scared to trade with like the concert goers, like just give them to the security guards, and they love them, so they give them to the security guards. So even the car park security guards get friendship bracelets. And this one video I saw like a couple days ago, they said there's security guards that were like, because there's what is it called? There's a barrier, so they can't actually get in. Get through the door. That's just whatever.
Yeah.
Some of the security guards have brought confetti from the inside to them so they could have some.
Oh my gosh.
It's so cute. And then actually, it's
I love
not
that
all car
culture.
park. Because I think that what started it is there was this one girl early on, like maybe a few cities into the tour, and she was at this, oh no, it might have been a car park, but it's like up this hill further from the venue, like not in the immediate vicinity of the venue. But she was like, I realized I can see the screen from here. And she's like, I'm coming back tomorrow if anyone wants to join. And then she has an update video of like maybe there's like 50, 80
so
people
amazing.
picnicking, just sitting there. And then it grew. So now every city there's basically a parking lot concert.
That's amazing too. Like, yes, for the people that couldn't get the tickets because of the ticket situation, but also for like someone that can't financially afford it, or was like, I can't go because I have work, and then something happens, so that like it means that yes, you're there with people that financially could, but also financially couldn't, and like you
still get the vibes.
Experience of like being with people that understand the fandom and like want to be there.
Yeah.
Especially because there will be people that are at the actual show that are like parents that don't care, but are like there for their kid or like partners.
The other thing is the
But, like,
dads.
those people will be there,
So yeah, and then some locations actually have really good vantage points, like where the car park area, or there's a hill or whatever, and they can see the screen, or some can't see the screen and they're just hanging out outside. And it's a vibe.
Cute.
And one of the locations, each night there was about, I want to say like 10,000 people outside. And there's like 80,000 people inside, like each night, because she was like 3 nights in that city. I think it was something insane like that.
I mean, even if you don't
and I don't think they do crowd control outside. So people are just
true.
like, that's not part of the venue's thing. And people are living. So it's super cute.
I was watching The Beer, and like that. If people don't know, it's like a chef show. It's so stressful.
I need to watch it.
I want to talk about it, but I also don't want to talk about it because
it'll stress you out.
It's a stressful show because it's like what it's like to be put in that like pressure cooker of an environment, and
get it
and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna make this really short, but there's a character that's been in there from season 1, and he's kind of like, for people that don't know, the brother has died and the younger brother is like gone through chef school, and now this relates to Taylor Swift. Just to clarify why I'm talking about it. So the younger brother like as a chef and is like kind of like a prodigy. People know who he is. He's like been in articles and stuff, and he's kind of like American up and comer.
Yeah.
So his brother dies, and he, in his will, he leaves him his shop. And a part of that is the fact that he's like, it's like, this rundown shop post-COVID. So like people are kind of like, all of these like local shops shutting down. Anyway, slight spoiler, but also like kind of not that big a deal. In season 2, they decide that they're going to close and reopen as a restaurant instead of just like a random deli vibes.
Right.
And their cousin, who's their family friend, who's not even related to them, he's like a maniac and like pretty crazy. And he like wants it to run like it used to run, but they're like, if we got to do what we want to do, then we got to do it this way. Anyway, he gets sent to go to this like fancy restaurant. And so like the vibe is like he's getting put through the ringer to figure out, because the brother that's now running the shop is like, I actually believe in you, but you don't know how to do restaurant. So you need to go here. And he's like, I know you're sending me there because you hate me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there's this part where he like understands. Like he's like, okay, I get it. Like I get why we do this and how amazing it can be. And so then he's like trying the different wines and like saying the different things and like knows what they are now. And he's like like vibing with the wait staff, even though like they kind of hated him at the beginning. And while they're doing that, dun, 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 Love Story starts playing.
Okay.
And you kind of like, there's kind of a little brief part, but I missed it the first time I watched it, where he says to one of their friends, like, did you get the tickets for Taylor Swift? Because he has a daughter.
Okay.
And then when he's like, okay, I'm getting the vibe, I'm understanding it, I'm kind of in love with this world now, he's like vibing off the energy, he's excited to be there after hating being there for the whole time. And then he's like driving home in the car and it's like, Romeo, but he's like full down and he's just like,
he's singing.
Yeah, he's singing and he's loving it. He's like calls his now ex-wife partner and is saying like, I got the tickets, and she tells him that.
Oh no, does he die?
No.
Oh.
She tells him that she's getting married, and that's like a big thing for, because he's still in love with her, whatever. And anyway, he's singing in the car to Taylor Swift, but like it kind of is like the episodes are around 30 minutes, so it's like quite a short show. But like the basically from the maybe 23 minutes in, they play that when he's like vibing, and then it kind of like pops up for the rest of the episode
As if the song's playing, or no?
No, like it's like depicting, yes, it's like talking about how he's like excited to go with his daughter to see Taylor Swift, but it's also like depicting him falling in love with this world that he used to like
Aww.
kind of hate.
Yeah.
And it's just so
wholesome.
It's like me sitting there like, this doesn't make sense. And
this is
then,
a
like,
different movie.
5 minutes and being like, this makes so much sense. And then
cute.
and then it's like he finally, I can't remember how the episode finishes, but it finishes and it cuts to black for the credits, and it's just Romeo, take me somewhere. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's just perfect. But also like, this should not mix. Like, this is all film. Like, it's a film show.
Yeah.
It's just like, it shouldn't make sense, but it does.
Also, so many people are getting engaged at Taylor Swift concerts.
I'm so happy for them.
And the boys wait. I've only seen like when the guys propose, but like
love story?
they wait for a love story, and like what is it? What's the line? He knelt to the ground and pulled out a ring and said, yeah.
Taylor Swift was my life in high school.
And what's really cute is like, I've seen some where they like hand a note to the girls around, because it's mostly girls, but the guys will hand a note to like the people around them and say, I'm about to propose. I'm gonna propose at love story. Can you film?
I saw this.
It's so cute.
I saw this. Not Taylor Swift, but I saw this post on
Mitch, I want to get engaged in Melbourne, please.
Oh no, I saw it on TikTok, and this guy was saying, thank you to the person that airdropped this to me, and it was like him and his partner. I don't think it was from Era's tour, but it was from some concert, and it was just like him and his partner like having a moment, and like just got airdropped, but like didn't ask anything. It was just like, honestly, they're so cute.
It's so wholesome, and I love it. So yeah, that's my Eras tour story. I'm going to Eras tour. I hope I can see it.
Jealous.
I hope I can go to Eras tour and watch it.
I feel like, because I know that she put her concert out on Netflix, like for Reputation.
Everyone reckons there's going to be a movie.
Yeah, like
because it's so big that there has to be.
And it's so long, because it's 3 hours.
It's 3 hours, 5 hours including the opening act. Sabrina Carpenter, by the way, which I need to study because I know some of her stuff, but not everything.
Mitchell loves Sabrina.
Yeah, funny. No, he doesn't. Did he say he did?
Because we played like half of her album on the way back from.
Okay. Because he was like he was Team Olivia during that whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm like, wow, this is.
There's
like
some tea there.
A little bit feels backstabby, but also like, I guess I get it.
Well,
but
actually,
also, like,
you know what? No, hold on.
Musically, it makes sense to me though.
No, because Olivia wouldn't have an album. It would be her old album, so it doesn't make sense.
No, I mean more like, I don't think Olivia would even go on tour with her because I feel like she can do her own concerts. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But also, like to me, it, like logistically, I know that there probably is tea, but logistically, Sabrina is currently touring her album.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
They should do it.
Yeah, but like
and
Olivia
like
has already been in hiatus for a year. And so she hasn't toured that, and she's only releasing her first album now. So it's like, doesn't make sense to then do a tour so close. Like, I don't know. So
I also feel like, because is there another opening act? Or was it just Sabrina?
I think it might just be Sabrina. Yeah.
Wild, man. To play on that stage would just be so fun.
That's actually
and also
insane.
would be a win regardless.
Yeah.
Whether
regardless.
or not people like you. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is just fun that I get to perform on the stage.
Yeah.
I actually this is kind of similar vein, but I was watching a video on YouTube from a girl who went on tour with some like semi-famous people, but not massively famous, and she was the first opener, and she was saying how like touring is like, people say like touring is how you make your money. She's like, I actually like went into debt because of it, and like how intense it is, and like, you know, the fact that most of the time people just don't turn my mic on and I'm just singing and like, she's like, it's actually so hard, and it doesn't matter if you're a Grammy award winning like artist, you can still like Little Sims, who like won I think best rap album or whatever, had to cancel her American tour because she couldn't financially afford it. But like she won a Grammy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so if they're not making money and financially, like, that's wild.
I know
like
someone
only
else
the Taylor
who
Swift that would be like making money, you know?
I know someone else who won a Grammy who fell from grace though.
Who?
The Bridgerton girls.
On the thought of concerts and stuff, Millie has said that if what's her name's? Millie is in her
Lana Del Rey.
K-pop era.
Okay.
/ Korean entertainment era, because she got recommended from some people at work a bunch of like Korean dramas and stuff, and so she's been watching them, and they're like, this is the order you have to watch them in, and you cannot change them.
People from work?
Yeah,
like
from
Yanni?
work. No,
okay,
this
never
might
mind.
be in about, but Chris, Yanni,
yeah.
Jody,
Yeah.
a bunch of people.
Okay, cool.
And then also we've been
For a moment, I forgot that that's
Works
where
with
she
other
was
people.
working. So I thought that it's her warehouse
yeah
friends.
No, yeah. So she has got really into one specific K-pop band, and then they're called. I always want to say something to do with NCT, but they're not NCT. They're called Stray Kids.
Oh yeah.
So she's like in love with Stray Kids at the moment. She was like, if they come, will you come with me? I was like, yeah. I'm not a massive Stray Kids fan, but I'll come with you because I'd love to go. And she's like, I don't think they will come here because they're famous enough to come to New Zealand. But she was like, I'll go to Australia. And because like 3 of them are from Australia as well, or like lived in Australia for like a certain period of time. Anyway, I'm saying this to then move from them to my new obsession, TXT.
Okay,
Do you know
me.
TXT?
No, I know nothing.
So TXT has been around like since a year after Stray Kids debuted, they came out with their debut. But they just did a song with Jonas Brothers.
Okay.
And it is so freaking good. Like so good. It's like I mean the Jonas Brothers album, which I know you haven't listened to, but is amazing. Massive fan. But like it's kind of that same vein, but like I can understand that it's like it has an American flavor to it, but while you're listening to like it could not be the Jonas Brothers and it would still make sense as a K-pop song, and vice versa. Like it would make sense if it was just Jonas Brothers as well. But it's so good, and I've been listening to it nonstop for like 3 days, and the video's cute or whatever. But you know, you're trying to do like a across America, Korea, like music video. Anyway, so there's my new favorite band, and that was the band that I sent you that video and was just
yeah.
I can feel the obsession.
Yeah.
I literally have not delved super intensely into their music because I'm like, I have things to do this week. I can't spend a whole day just watching TXT videos.
Because you're gonna watch interviews, you're gonna read up about
I'm not gonna YouTube them. Me and Melly were YouTubing on the thing I like watching. We were trying to find good K-pop music videos, but I was like, I just don't know like what I would show to like introduce someone into the world. Because Millie's like, I watch them, but I like listen to more K-pop. I listen to the music more than I do like
The visuals.
the visuals.
Which
Anyway,
the visuals are a big part of it, and
I
it's
know. And
pretty
so
good.
she's like, I really like this song, but I was like, I don't really know. Like, is this normal or is this like above the bar or below? Like, a what? And so she showed me the video, and I was like, I think it's like high standard, like normal amount. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there's the end of my TXT rant. Yeah, you can go look that up on your own time, okay?
Okay.
What do you got, Jay?
What?
Ah,
Did you say what do you want?
I said, what do you got, Jay?
Oh, I thought you said what do you want. I'm like, what?
What do you want?
No, I just wanted to. I don't know how much I told you. I probably told you a lot about how Ozzy went to the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I know the end of it,
Yeah, I'll tell
But
you quickly
not
because
the
you
whole
know
thing.
Ozzy is obviously our co-host / mascot. So
We need to
Ozzy,
get her a little booth so then she like can be in the corner and
Yeah.
tell us what was coming up next.
so Ozzy had to go to the hospital. We had to admit her to the hospital overnight, and it was the weekend as well. So it's like emergency weekend, after hours, blah blah blah. But it was wild, kind of weak-ish, because I was also not feeling well, so I was kind of like off for a few days, and she was not well. Like probably over 2 days, she was kind of breathing weird. Like it just sounded like she was trying to get something out of her throat.
Right.
So this kind of happened like throughout the afternoon, and then that evening I could hear her walking down the hallway, like as Mitch was coming to bed, and she was like walking down the hallway, and she was like making this like really weird noise, and then when she sleeps in the bed with us, but when she was on the bed, she was doing it again. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna record this, and we have to take her to the hospital. I mean, to the vet, and so I wonder if I sent it to my family. Anyway, my dad studied as a vet, so he knows a little bit, and he was like, yeah, you need to make sure you get her checked out, and took her to the vet, and they said she has kennel cough, which is wild because it's common when you take dogs to like nurseries or if they're in kennels
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever, which she isn't. And the only time, and I'm like, we haven't even really taken her out in a long time. Like we play with her here, but we haven't done like big walks with her,
Yeah, right.
except Ozzy just turned 1, and we did the little doggy birthday thing by going for a walk with some friends at the dog park.
Cute.
And there was actually quite a lot of dogs that day. And so I'm like, that's the only place I can think that she could have gotten it. When we took her to the vet, I showed her a video, which I will let you hear in a moment. But I showed her a video of her coughing, and the vet was like, does she stay in a kennel? And I was like, nope. And she's like, in a nursery? And I was like, nope. And I was
She
like,
has free range of the house.
yeah, she's at home only. So I said either the neighbor's dog has it, or it might have been when we went to the thing, and all the things lined up. So then she gave us medication, 5 days with food. 3 days in, she's all good. Day 4, she doesn't eat much. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to give her the thing because I need to give her the meds with food.
Right.
So because I didn't see her eat, I didn't want to give it to her and, be in the wrong part of the
Yeah.
digestion. So didn't give her then. Then the next day, even more so, I noticed she didn't eat at all. So like, this is really odd. And then I was out, and when I came home, Mitchell said that she had thrown up, and she she threw up grass or whatever. For the next 6 hours, she throws up maybe like 5 or 6 times more, and she was just so sad. Like she was just curled up, like little sad dog, and wasn't like didn't eat, and then she did poo poos, and actually when we took her to the sorry.
She did. It's a bad word.
Anyway, we took her to the vet, and they said they would like to hold her overnight and put her on an IV drip, because they were like, yeah, it's really common for small dogs to like die because of dehydration. And we're like, great. But
Great. Good to know.
thank you,
New
doctor.
information.
But like obviously he had to test her temp. And when he took out the thermometer, he was like, yeah, oh frick, what was it? It was jelly poos. It was something like that. Basically, She had like bloody diarrhea. Gah. And
What a visual.
whatever she had basically meant it's fatal if you don't have their like hydration under control. So they just dehydrate. They don't have an appetite. They can't hold food down. Whatever.
Do you think it was because the medication was in the food that she was like not
Uh,
going back for it?
I would have thought, but like maybe it could have been because the other thing. I mean, the vet didn't say anything. Like the vet should have known that she was on her kennel cough medication, but they didn't say that it was connected. And I almost wonder if whether it is or not because it was 2 days before she started doing anything. But when the previous vet, when we first got her kennel cough meds, they said if she has diarrhea or if she like throws up, just bring her back and let us know. But she didn't react immediately, and she hadn't had the meds for 2 days. If she reacted on the same day that she had them, I probably would have thought it was connected. So in the end, it wasn't. I think she got better with kennel cough. Pretty much when she started the meds, she wasn't coughing anymore.
But it brought up something else.
But then something else happened. Yeah. And if you talk, I'm gonna look up the video, and
I was just gonna say that we had a similar situation, but not the poos part. Just our
the
cat
poos
was
part.
like, not the poos part.
Okay. I thought you said first part, but it sounded like poos part. Sorry.
I said the poos part.
Yeah.
Yeah, our cat was like being weird, and then we're like, oh, you're so annoying. And he gets that cough, like a cough too, and it sounds like a human.
Oh,
and
really?
It's disgusting. Like I'll be in another room, I'm like, there's a man in our house. And then he just vomited like everywhere in the house.
Poor babies.
And it's also like so annoying because like at least your dining living room is like a lino.
Yeah. Laminate floor. Not carpet.
Ours is carpet.
Yeah.
And so it was like cleaning carpet. And I was like, Millie's like, I'm just going to put him in the hallway. I was like, no, put him in the bathroom. There's wood on the floor.
Yeah. Okay, this is what she sounded like. Trigger warning, pet suffering. And here's another one. Anyway, it's so sad.
Our cat one is like,
oh my god, that's so creepy.
And you're like, I'll be like on my computer doing work, and then I'll just hear it in the hallway. I'm like, who came inside? But she's okay now.
She's okay now. She's definitely herself again.
Wow, what a little rascal of a
The
child.
only sad thing, so we took her in. So she was in the hospital Sunday overnight. Then Monday, I took her to the vet, and the vet held her for the rest of the day. And then she had a groomer's appointment booked for the Thursday, which has been booked for like almost 2 months.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 6 weeks. And we knew that she probably is not gonna enjoy it because she's been around all these people. So Mitch takes her into the groomers, and just as he's saying, oh, by the way, she's been in the hospital, she might react. He was going to say, like, she might act kind of cagey and whatever. And just as he was saying that, they looked down, and she's, like, full body shivers, and she peed herself. Or, like, she peed on the floor.
Girl, you have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, she's really normally really good. And then when Mitch picked her up, they said, yeah, she was a bit sassy and snappy with them. So it wasn't as kind of like as thorough of a groom.
I really didn't understand because I only ever had cats growing up, and dogs have always been other people's like dogs, so haven't had to be in part of the situation. But I follow this guy on YouTube who does like shorts of him grooming dogs.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I didn't realize how involved it is.
Yeah.
Because you don't really have to do
Oh, is this the one where it's really cute?
He always finished with going, bye, Ozzy. That's how he finishes his thing.
Nah, there's one that's really cute, and I'm like, I want to buy all the stuff that he had. So they have a Shiba. I think it's a Shiba Inu dog. And it's like, he will lay the dog on its...
Oh, no, this is the actual groomers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my one is like, it's on TikTok, and it's just like really fast. And dog lies on its back, and everyone's like, that is not a Shiba because it doesn't squeal and cry when you cut its toenails. But she's literally like this and like, cut, cut, just laying there, no noise. And then the other thing is like, he has this like, it's like a tube, or it's like a it's like a canister, but it's got a, instead of like a spray bottle, right? The head is a brush,
Yeah.
so you can kind of squeeze it and you can dispense soap. And he's like brushes the paw pads, and then he has this like gel, almost like pawpaw,
Right.
but for the paws. Oh,
Paw for the paws.
and so they don't get cracked. So I got
Right.
that, and then even has like little separate cleaners for the ears,
Right.
cleaner for the nose, brushes their teeth, and it's just like full pamper. And the dog falls asleep. It's just, and it's on its back the whole time.
Amazing.
And what else? Like, yeah, cleans out their eyes and whatever. And it's just like, I want that spa treatment, and I want my dog to have that spa treatment. Anyway, it's really cute.
That's so cute. I want a dog now. Okay, should we do a mid-episode break?
Let's do a mid-episode break.
Ad time.
This episode is brought to you by our 31 subscribers.
Thank you. We love you.
And apparently, you are not one of those 31 people.
Excluding the 31 that are already, if it is you. Otherwise, you.
Yes, we're not talking to the 31. We're talking to you, who isn't one of the 31. Please subscribe.
Because we love you.
Yes.
Don't have parasocial relationships.
And why don't you think about liking this video?
Just think about it. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, just consider it. Just think about it. And then also, where else can they find us?
Threads, TikTok, Instagram.
Pow, pow, pow.
Easy, free,
Cover girl.
cover girl. Bye.
See ya.
Okay, we're back.
With snacks.
So, I have had this idea for a while. It's an idea for a D&D campaign. I've
Tell me.
kind of told you a little bit of stuff, but probably here and there. It was actually an idea for a story that I had, and then I was like, I feel like this would make sense mostly as...
Is this the thing that you sent me videos about?
Kind of.
Okay.
One video. Not the videos I sent last night before I went to sleep.
Okay.
That was a horror story idea that I had. We're going to not talk about that, because then you'll steal my ideas, guys. Stop it. So, I had this idea for a campaign maybe 2 years ago. And the idea was that these two planets, they were right next to each other, and then they smashed together. And when they smashed together, something about the two cores of the planets merging created basically a sentient planet. Not in like a way that it's like talking and saying hello, but more like it responds in a way that's very like like it can communicate, but just differently than talking. So when the core like smashed together, these like pillars of like yellow crystal like spikes came out of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's like no real like atmosphere on the planet prior to them. Like the two separate planets didn't really have an atmosphere. They were more like moons.
Can we call them the smashing?
Sure. So they smashed together, and then when the cores merged, it became somewhat sentient, and these like pillars come out of the planet. They're like humongously tall, like outside of the space.
Yeah.
And then outside of the space, out into space. And then the idea is that Earth dies, and then humans leave our planet, and then they go to this planet, and then over the next, so that would happen 1,000 years ago when they like land on this planet. It's happened 1,000 years ago or something. And then like a lot of like these two other main races come to the planet, and then like it's this very like solar planet, and only a portion of the planet is kind of like livable and inhabitable. Everything else is like uninhabitable. So it's like responds really well to like nature being planted in the ground, and like when you treat it well, it like rewards with like emotional benefits or like different things like that. Because it's somewhat sentient, it's like if you're giving to me, I'll give back to you kind of thing.
Okay.
And like they're from there, like different religions are obviously made, and like da 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 da. And that's how the planet works. And so that's the idea I had, but then that's kind of like the extent of it, and then it kind of just like died off and stopped being a thing in my head. Oh, the only other idea I had was that like the streets are all grass because they put magnets underneath them, so then like cars are just floating above it because you just like go over the magnets, but they're underneath the grass. It's like everything is like super nature heavy. Then I see a video on the video that we're about to watch that is talking about a thing called solar punk. Have you heard about solar punk?
I think I have.
Basically like cyberpunk or steampunk, but solar punk. So it's like very like environmentally
Solar powered stuff.
solar powered, that whole thing. And then I watched this ad from Chobani, the yogurt company. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
And it is so beautiful. And I was like, this is my campaign. So I'm going to watch it. And it's kind of like Studio Ghibli-esque.
And we're going to watch on that big screen over there.
Yes. Should I turn it up? Just beautiful. Jonas, should we start again?
It's a handful, but nothing worth doing is easy. The land is more than just dirt.
It's so beautiful.
Look after it, it will feed you forever. You're a smart one. I know you'll be okay, come rain or shine.
I love
Oh,
it.
that's so cute.
And remember, a business is only as good as its people. So treat
Robot.
them well. Our job
Cute.
plant seeds so our grandkids get to enjoy the fruit.
Dang, they're saying that they're going to...
So
I want the house.
That is so cute.
take those seeds,
Love.
because how we eat today feeds tomorrow.
Oh.
Beautiful, gorgeous. Anyway, so then I was like, okay, this is exactly like what I want. Oh. Okay, so then that was like, okay, this is what I want. And then I started like forming the word a little bit. As I said to you on Telegram, I love Telegram. We could talk about that for a whole episode. And I started using ChatGPT to kind of like basically ask me questions. So then I can like, especially because if it's a D&D world, everyone's going to ask random questions. So like that was when I was like, okay, I solidified what the main religious aspect was, what the government looks like,
Mm-hmm.
like, different questions like that. Is there any like, whatever. And so the only main thing that I added that I didn't really have before that video was robots that were built, and then because of like the core and stuff, the core has like slowly like basically made magic elements appear in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't really there before that. And it's only happened in the last 20 to 30 years. So like very new, very minor magic. So then the thought would be, if there's like a character that wants to play in this world, maybe they're like the first person that's like super magic heavy or,
Mhm.
something like that. And then, the last one is that these robots basically gain some sentiency. So then they have like their own free will. And that's like a big political situation because people are like, we built them as workers, but how does that make sense? Like, how do we treat them ethically and whatever? But I feel like the world is pretty morally good. Like, it's quite a small colony,
A smallony.
and stuff like that. So then I'm kind of like, I feel like I don't know what the conflict is. That's probably my biggest. I know the conflict between people, but I don't know what would. Like, I don't feel like they would just start a war out of nowhere. Like, it has to be something pretty massive. And I'm like, it's so happy and beautiful. I don't want there to be a war in my world.
Maybe they just want cozy vibes.
Yeah, like, I feel like maybe it would be like the thing would be very political in the sense that it's like people trying to, like make sure that they keep what is good kind of thing. Like, maybe that's what's happening. Like, especially because I think by the time the campaign would start, it would be something to do with like a lot of like trading is starting to happen because there's other planets that are coming with their people, but they're not living on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're trying to escape or find a new home. They're just trying to get fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know? So that's my idea and that's my thing and that's how.
Great. That's really cute. I like that. Please keep working on
I
that.
also just want to like live in that world. So I think that's why I want to make a campaign about
I
it.
also used ChatGPT a lot over the last week
Mm.
because we did do a one shot, like
Mm.
a one session D&D, because Rob, our normal DM,
Mm.
was sick. So Zoe, his wife, decided to run a
one
session
shot.
for us, and it was really I just love how frantically we tried to create characters, and but I also loved it because it's like, because we're preparing for our other big campaign, and you and I are probably both like, oh, I just want to get in and like start
Start.
playing.
It's almost like hurting.
Yeah, because like you're so excited to do it. And so the one shot that we did was cool because, you know, you had like a couple hours to hyperfixate.
Yeah.
And then
especially because I
output
think
straight away.
you guys started talking about it like Thursday night, and then like I think you started creating a character on Friday morning ish.
Probably like midday, I started to think about what I could play.
Yes.
But yeah, it wasn't like super handy, like world building. And Mitch used ChatGPT to create his character, and I did the same thing. And then also, like at some point, I also was like, oh, I wonder if this I could get it to like make suggestions for like plot points for this book that I want to write one day, or that I've started writing and haven't finished. So that was really cool. And then also over the weekend, I told you that I also used ChatGPT to try and make a campaign outline for the other campaign.
Yeah.
Our kind of Harry Potter themed campaign that we were doing.
Our wizard campaign.
So I was like, if we ever go back into it, at least I'll be prepared.
Yeah.
So I'm still keen to.
Do you want to talk about your character that we played for the one shot?
Yeah, she's so cute. Oh yeah, because I was gonna ask you like how you built yours. So yeah, my character is, she's 17, she's human, and her class is a bard, but she's kind of like arts and crafts bard / like really keen on finding out how things work. So she's curious and all this. And well, you know what's funny is when we did the session and Zoe asked us like, where were you in the moment that this happened? And that was like, I didn't even know that we would go into that. And I was like, just role playing, like literally just, what is it called? Like improvising in the moment. And I was like, this makes so much sense for her character to be like, yeah, she was 13 when this creepy traumatic event happened to the whole world, and yeah, she decided she didn't want to just be doing balls and be rich.
You did such a good job though of like being like improvising on the fly, because you were saying like this war's going on, and it woke me up to my privilege, because I was seeing my parents like basically profiting off this war and living a cushy life while people are like dying.
So my character is like a nepo baby.
I was gonna say inebriated.
No, so her parents are rich, and she's basically a nepo baby, like raised to live the high, society life thing. And her family run like this giant company and whatever. And part of that crazy thing that happened to the whole world, basically like the blip from the Avengers, but like way scarier, because people didn't just disappear.
Scarier.
Apparently they were like wailing in pain and then disappeared.
Which is psychotic.
It
wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm disappearing.
I feel weird, and then slowly disappear and dissolve.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
It was like
worse.
Oh my gosh, I'm dying.
I can feel myself being rent asunder molecule by molecule.
That's wild.
And so she was 13, and she decided, okay, I'm gonna do something about it. And she anyway, so her name's Emmeline, 17. Oh, it rhymes. And
Emmeline,
she decided that like she could make these different like weapons and little inventions and whatever to try and
she got
help.
a mark of something on her hand.
Yeah, it was something. So she's magical, but she's also like kind of handy.
Tinkerer.
A tinkerer. And Yeah, and so she decided that she's kind of like Spider-Man vibes, and like she's young, and it's like, oh, I've got this thing, and I'm gonna try and secretly help fight crime or
Here's
fight evil.
photos. Here's one photo. Here's another photo.
Yeah, tell me about. So I freaking anyway. The conclusion is that, as I was telling Zoe about the character, we're both like, we really love Emmeline. I wish we could keep her somehow. Like,
Yeah, can we
just
keep playing?
yeah, keep playing that character. So that was really fun, and also massive change. But I'm like, in the actual adventure, Emmeline's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you like 50 gold pieces, whatever. She like doesn't
Has
care
money.
about money,
Yeah.
or her dad will just let her
Have it.
have the money.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
That was so good.
Her adventures are secret from her parents, by the way. Side note.
Yeah, that's why she said Spider-Man,
Yeah.
because she's like going out into the world when she's supposed to be.
So
like,
her parents are living the
living
high
the high
life,
life.
and she's like undercover nerd.
undercover agent.
Yeah.
So I had just watched Smosh's doing a D&D series, and in it they had a robot. And I also know that Critical Role's current campaign, or not the one that's playing right now, but the one that they're technically in, has a robot as well. And I was like, I really want to play a robot. I was like, I don't know if that works for the world. Like, I know steampunk is around, but I don't know if there are, like, I don't know what's in it. And so then I was like, I really want to play a robot. I'm going to tell Zoe I want to play a robot. And then I looked at the classes on D&D Beyond, and there's a couple different robot classes, but the one I chose was a auto-gnome, which is like a little robot gnome. Well, it can kind of look like anything, but I think gnome is meant to reference its size and stature. And so I sent that to Zoe, and I just said, I want to play an auto gnome, ? And then I kind of, over the next maybe 30, 40 minutes, I just kind of riffed with Zoe. I saw what I could do. I was like, I kind of want to play a cleric or a warlock, because I want to be spell adjacent, but not the only thing I do, especially because Percy is so spells and can't do any like melee gameplay. So yeah, I really wanted to play something that could do a little bit of spell casting, healer, which is not a wizard thing, and on top of that also is like able to like smash some people. So I play a little robot. His name is
Volt.
Vault 5 or Vault V, as in Roman numerals, which is what Jay came up with. So then my nickname is V.
And his undercover nickname is 5.
5. Because it's
so
like,
cute.
you know, I'm like...
And also, so my character's name was Emmeline. Oh no, it's blowing out, but whatever. And my...
Should I
no, just leave it.
I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. I'm already done. That's why I'm doing it.
So my character's name is Emmeline Beaumont. So the idea was that when she's undercover, she would go by Beau. And then so it was really cute playing DJ because he
My character's a little bit dumb.
we made our backstory where I found you in my family's basement and my uncle invented you. So it was really cute, like
but I was like
riffing
a
off
first
of that.
draft that
Oh my god,
got
it got
canned.
worse. I don't know what you did, but it got worse.
Yeah, so this is a photo of him, except for he's made out of wood and doesn't have a tail, and his face looks different.
So here's a photo, and this looks nothing like
here's
him.
the idea of what I wanted, but
Audio listeners, it'll be in the link.
yeah. Thanks, that's it.
That's it.
What else do you want to talk about?
I have some honorable mentions, but I don't even know that we're gonna get into it too much.
Just say it and you can cut it.
I'm just gonna say some keywords, and you just tell me your initial thoughts.
Okay. You tell me, and then I'll pick what one I want to hear.
No, I'm gonna say some keywords, and you react.
Okay.
Colleen Ballinger and Trisha Paytas.
Ugh.
Submarine. Submersible. Ukulele apology.
Disgusting.
Threads.
Amazing. I'm not really a Twitter person too, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm excited to be on, and I'm following so many artists.
Honestly,
Oh.
Threads makes me feel that I have no personality.
Oh, I don't have a personality at all. Yeah, follow artists on Threads because Instagram sucks at sending you what you want, and so does Twitter. And I feel like Threads is giving me like all the inspo that I need.
Nice.
Next.
That's it.
Okay, should I read mine then?
Yes.
Here's my random thoughts that I wrote in my doc.
Do I react like I got you to react to me?
Sure, but these are more like a thing that I thought, and then I was like, I need to talk about this.
Oh, yeah,
because it's
okay,
so
okay.
annoying. Okay, number 1. Why the heck do people, you know those LED screens that when you're driving? Why do people use white on those LED screens?
Oh my god. If Mitchell was here, he would rant for 5 days.
Because as a designer and someone who's literally worked with LED, white is lighting. That's a light. That's not anything to do with design.
But not all designers have experience with that. So I think it's more why
They
the...
work on computers.
No. It's small. It's not like they get to test it in giant. They just pay for the thing. I think it's more an issue of LED billboards in general. Like,
True.
it's an eyesore.
I
but-
feel like they need to have as...
But they need to calibrate it so it's not so bright. Because there's one at this giant intersection towards your house. And we
Oh
parked,
my gosh, that's the one I'm talking about.
yeah, and we parked next to it. And obviously it's like dark or whatever the ads were. And then it was like full white. And it gave Mitchell a fright. We were like sitting there at a stoplight.
Especially because they don't fade to the next design.
No,
they
it just
cut.
flashes. Yeah.
I think this is what I feel like they should do as a company when ads are being sent to them. There should be an amount of white you're allowed or high light colors. And I would just say, like, be smart when you're using white. It should be for things that you want people to take information from. Also, if there is a lot of information on your billboard, people are driving. No one's going to read that. Even at a stoplight, they're like little pixels of light. So if you're writing just do a massive header, have a link to a website, and nice photo, and use darker colors, please. Annoying people. Okay, so that was my number 1 thought. I'm glad we got that out of the way. I can breathe now. Soft launches on Instagram should only last 2 to 3 months. If you are 3 years into a relationship and all I've seen is a shadow, a hand, the back of someone's head, you are fired. You should be kicked off the app.
Maybe they don't want to post
No.
actual couple photos.
No.
And it's actually a different boyfriend.
They need to not then post about them at all. Like, I would rather not.
What
see
triggered
them.
this? Tell me.
Well, I followed like 3 people that were cheeky soft launch, and then like posted a bunch of photos on the next one, whatever, and then they post another one, and it's like not talking about soft launch, but it's like a hand at a cafe, and like the back of them on a hike or whatever, and then I hadn't seen anything from them, and then a year later, I went back to the account, and still the same type of photos. I'm like, I don't need to see their face. I'm not asking you to show your partner on your account. What I'm saying is if you keep teasing it, I'm going to want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I feel like there should be at least 4 posts.
Also, sad to the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm also like, maybe they don't want to be, maybe you're famous, and maybe I'm just like, okay, so
I wonder if I can soft launch my husband.
he's on your account already. His face is on your
I
account.
want to relaunch him.
Delete all the posts.
Hey, I got married 3 years ago.
I am excited about the One Piece remake that's coming out on thing, although lots of people hate it, but I'm excited. And the Avatar live action is stressing me out.
Why?
Just so many things. So they released photos, things aren't the same, or referential. The fact that the creators of the original cartoon that have left because of creative differences is alarming. And I don't know, just the cast is not giving the characters. But then again, I have not seen their act, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but it better be scary. Because Avatar The Last Airbender is scary. As a cartoon, it's my favorite cartoon. Anyway, moving on. Already talked about the Blair, don't need to do that. I love, this is what I wrote. I love forgetting the plot of something.
Why? What happened?
I just love, like, I think it's maybe watching D&D stuff or like watching a TV show again. Oh, I started watching Arcane again. the animated series on Netflix, the one that's the League of Legends. Oh my gosh, you've literally watched it.
Don't remember it.
Well,
Maybe I
there
should
you go.
watch it
Now
too.
you can watch it again. It's so good and so beautiful and just like an amazing thing.
Sorry, I haven't had breakfast, so I'm currently eating Doritos for breakfast.
We can talk about this at another time, and I feel like we should talk about it another time, but I'm going to bring it up here right now, on this, right now, in this place. My dream is to do a title sequence for an animated show. No,
Yes, love it.
an animated title sequence for a show. It doesn't have to be an animated show. I just love them so much, especially when they're good. So I feel like we should talk about good ones in the future.
Yes. I support you 100%.
You have a massive...
Oh my god, maybe that's why she was trying to sniff me.
massive crumb.
Sorry. The flavor saver is back at it again. I'm gonna eat it.
I'm here with my flavor saver.